Oh my goodness. How is everybody doing? Back for another exciting beta read, and we are having so much technical difficulties. It's ridiculous. I just did the intro, and now I gotta redo it. But anyways, I just got done with another beta read, so that's why I'm already out of breath. I don't know how anybody sweats during. I'm probably the only beta reader that sweats during beta reads. Anyways, so with that being said, yeah, I did 40 minutes of her video yesterday, and it just I uploaded it, and there was no sound at all. So with that being said, I checked for sound now, so hopefully we're gonna be good. Anyways, so with that being said, I want to give a huge shout out to Eric Mosby, I believe, and permission to read this book. I believe it's called Gifts Redo Begins. Very interesting. Very excited to read this. I think this came from the beta read group, which is pretty fun. So love the group. Anyways, before we begin, let's get some plugs out the way. Like, subscribe, do what you gotta do. Here is some books of mine. Brick, Dreadful Sun. Oh my goodness, so awesome. Not Every Star in the Night. Great. And of course my first book, The Yamikage. Now these are just my books I have on paper, but we're not here to talk about my books. We're here to talk about your books. I've actually released 2 since those. And The Yamikage Diplomacy is so close to being done. With that being said, I think I recommended this to the author on Facebook to use an AI generator to take those caricatures or those characters, run it through the program, and have them come out realistic. Man, I underestimated it. I underestimated how effective that was. I got a few manuscripts with those involved, and oh my goodness, they nailed my characters. AI is taking over the world. It's game over. I was like, it's like they literally took my brain, and I was like, how did you do that? Anyways, yeah, so I recommend doing that. Anyways, so in case anybody hasn't seen the channel, 5-star beta reader, 5-star ghostwriter, editor, published author, obviously. And of course, we're starting the publishing company, which is pretty good. We've got our first manuscripts on the way. So with that being said, this is kind of like a compartmentalized, compressed version, a speed beta read of what I like to call it, of those Fiverr Upwork ones that I usually do, or et cetera, et cetera. Very fun. So what we do here is we basically open up the book as if a reader, just kind of reading it for the first time, maybe with a little bit of a critical eye, and just go. So I actually haven't read this. I haven't seen it. I read with you guys, so that's always very exciting. So yeah, let's just come right into this. Now I'm only looking at the screen here. Only look at the screen. First page, first chapter, first sentence, and it pains me to say this. It always does. It always does. But just compared to what I have on the screen here, if this is the first page, I would immediately send it back. I would just go, sorry, man, do it again. And it's just some part. People in my position just have to do that. So with that being said, let's see why. Let's pick it apart. Why? So with that being said, number 1 is the presentation. Number 2 is the dialogue. I can already see that there's not a lot of elevated dialogue tags. The first. Well, we gotta kind of go some terms here. I think it's slow. I don't want to start off on a bad note either, because that's a good thing. Because when you get that, it gets you okay. Time for some nice redos. So with that being, writing is rewriting. So with that being said. Cheeseburger paragraphs, delicious. Those healthy 5-sentence narratives. What we have at the beginning is what I call the sandwich paragraphs. Nice and healthy, pretty nice. But I would not start. I would vie for a nice, beautiful narrative to begin this novel with. And what we have, what follows are the ping pong dialogue, the onion chops. So they're rapping back and forth. You don't want that presentation, especially right in the face. That's not what you want. Maybe that's just something in the midst of something else. Aim for that beautiful presentation. That's definitely what I want to see here. So first line, very important. So you could definitely tell a lot about a novel just from the first line. So let's see. I stood beside the rest of the class. Okay, very interesting. So we have an implication of setting, and this whole first page you take very slowly. The novel you could kind of speed through, but when it comes to these very important landmarks, you go at a snail's pace. So we're opening up with I. I've always been told to watch out for people who say I too much. That's okay. That's not exactly what I'm getting at here. Opening up with I insinuates the main character or a character. So now we're going to be looking at first-person perspective, and that's established immediately. Know the elements of first-person perspective and know how to use it effectively. An elevated character profile. An elevated main character should be presented right, like directly after. If it's gonna go right into first person, get that main character in there. Elevate main character. I want love at first sight, and we all do. All liberties that we want love at first sight. We don't want silhouette characters. Right here is we don't have any characters. They're gone. But what I do like is what I don't like is the turd. I don't know about that. Maybe if this was like Captain Underpants or something. Or something funny like that. I don't know. I've never seen. It's reader dissonance. I suppose I would put it there. It's creative as well. It's your creative freedom. So I'm not going to be putting that away because of that. I just consider it a little bit off-putting. What I do like though is how setting is presented there, down the halls. I would eliminate the turd thing. That's so funny. I would eliminate that and watch out for glue words as well. A lot of this is glue words, sticky words such as the, and just really words that just double check words that don't need to be there. The ones that can be kind of plucked out. So a lone turd, that's so funny. I would eliminate that. I'm sorry. I would eliminate that and then use that valuable page space to elevate the setting and get that main character in there. So double check that. It was carried on by a river I could only assume was toilet water. I don't know. I've gotten many manuscripts that have been really out there. I've gotten so many manuscripts that have just been very similar to this, actually. Very, very similar to this. And it's one of those things you go, okay, well, as a beta reader, the right way to do it is to not critique on the creative freedom. It's more over to look at the literary fundamentals. And that's definitely, I take the left brain approach to the majority of this. Because, I'm a psychology major. That's what we do. We write APA, but also from the creative writing standpoint, I do want to give my 2 cents. So not every teacher had everything. Oh, we got other beta readers here. What the? Hey, get out. Oh my goodness. So you guys don't see it on the screen, but on the right, this is a Google Docs with a lot of comments. So I'm not going to try. I'm trying not to acknowledge them. I see it in the corner of my eye. I don't want to, well, maybe I'll address them. We'll see. They're in the corner and they're cut off. But anyways, not even our teacher had anything to say. Okay, so that's a tell, not show. You want to eliminate that? When you want to show, not tell. Present beautiful imagery. That's so I was saying this the last video. A lot of people just don't even know this. So there are average readers and there are avid readers. So average readers, we read, average readers, they internalize their dialogue. So they're constantly thinking what they're reading. And they read in either kind of like a line, or an S shape. Speed readers, we don't internalize dialogue. We're not trained to internalize dialogue. What we're trained to do is formulate images immediately. So as we're reading, as we're opening the book, we're thinking images, visualizing. It's a steady state of visualizing. That's why imagery is so important. So opt for that imagery. I would make it aesthetically pleasing because what we're blasted with is a little bit of imagery that maybe is not putting, man. You want to, just from a literary standpoint, maybe just elevate this first paragraph. Keep what you want to keep in there. That's totally cool. But I would vie for a nice, beautiful narrative. Aim for imagery. If you want to elevate, well, I would not recommend elevating. You can do it, but I would aim for main character and a setting immediately. That if I get a manuscript and that's nailed in that first beautiful narrative, I'm ecstatic. So double check. I would eliminate the onion chops here because we don't know who's talking. We want an elevated main character, so double check that. Yeah, so it seems there's multiple people talking. And this is also a huge problem that a lot of people fall into, especially in first-person perspective. So important. Get a beautiful main character. Love at first sight. I would rather see one beautifully elevated main character than starting out with a lot of silhouette characters, is kind of what that is. We also don't want silhouette settings. I don't know if you guys ever seen The Matrix. Probably ever seen The Matrix, but I describe those silhouette settings as that one giant kind of empty white room they go in. Double check that. We don't have that here. Which is nice. We got halls, so we know we're in some sort of hall. Elevate that. I would love to see that. It seems we're in school, but too many characters. Already too many characters. And same with this. This is another telltale thing. No, comma, what? Watch your grammar as well. And punctuation, but at the same time, that doesn't need to be there. It's kind of filler. It's taking more than it's giving. So double check for that. Double check for things that are taking more than giving. Also at the same time, so it looks like it's kind of hard. We're gonna have to double differentiate the narratives between the first person dialogue. So with that being said, people think differently than they talk. My mouth runs faster than I think. I think a little bit simpler, but my mouth kind of, sometimes it's the opposite. Anyways, we think and we speak a little bit differently. So with that being said, I love authors that are able to personify that through their first person narratives, have like a slightly different voice and slightly different thinking. So right here we have, sadly, I think I know who did this. I would elevate that. I would actually go into like a little bit of a riff there, so you can go ahead and open up. So notice how we are going at a snail's pace here in this one, and then we're gonna kind of go a little faster. Hey Einstein, what did you do? What did you do, Paul? Just saying that. I actually like that line. That's nice. If I knew the character, if I knew who the character, it would be awesome. So double check, and then no, comma, what? That's got to go. Come on, math is everything right. Show us degenerates how useful math is. So now I'm wondering, what is this book about? I didn't receive a synopsis. I didn't ask for one, and that's totally okay. I actually prefer not receiving one. The last one, I like to be able to infer, because as a reader, we should be able to infer. But with that being said, like right here, it's completely ambiguous what this is all about. It's very ambiguous. So I would aim for some specificity, and we got a first character here. Richard, nice. I turn tone to voices. Go ahead, elevate sensory detail. Voices, go ahead. What kind of voices? What do they sound like? Get that imagery in there. Aim for all those 5 sentences. Found a group of guys trying to shove Richard, our resident know-it-all, into the flood. Oh, what a bunch of jerks. Well, the author's describing action. Very good. A lot of authors struggle to describe action. We have this author clearly describing action by poor Richard getting shoved. With that being said, I would elevate the main character first. I don't want to spend time with a second character, but we also what we also have is now we have a set of characters in the group of guys. Now we have we actually have more people in here. I wouldn't necessarily call them important characters. Maybe they are, maybe they're not. It's just what I'm looking for. I would take that out. Spend time with imagery. Elevate the main character. Get those beautiful cheeseburger narratives in there. Yummy. Degenerate apes laughing in my class. My eyes lingered on them as she shoved and picked at Richard. Watch for repetitive content. I started to move towards them. Watch for tells, not shows. They all suddenly stopped. Watch for tells, not shows. Richard was now near the doorway. Elevate your setting. So double check. The group of guys snickered. Go ahead, elevate. And, vie for character appearance. And, here. So what these group of guys are, what's called in literature the everyman. What's called the everyman is kind of like they're just everyday person. You're commoner. In fantasy novels, they're just the regular people. You could tell a lot by about the world building just by how the normal people look. So go ahead and elevate that. Vie for those healthy narratives. I'm not seeing a lot of healthy narratives here, but I am seeing these nice sandwich ones. Like we got the I picked up the pace. That's pretty interesting. I like that. Describing action. I know that's an author's strength. So when I know an author could do something, I always hold them to that standard. So with that being said, I love the way of describing action. Feel free to elevate it. Get that level 2 vocabulary where it's needed. Get some metaphor. Aim for imagery. So right now grabbed his wrist. I don't know, like these guys could be like 500 pounds and purple for all I know. And you never know, or they could be like green aliens. So I just have this funny habit of when they're silhouette characters, I'm just going to picture them however I want to picture them. So go ahead and elevate those character profiles. Get them up there. So it soaked my head. Yes. So I would certainly send this back. This needs a lot of redrafting. Look at him trying to be a hero. Oh my gosh, he's swallowed. What the? Bashing guns like shots I could barely. It was like I was choking. So is the main Richard? Get that. You gotta elevate the character profile. We need a lot of clarity here. But I am liking the description of action. The fact that the author's including action is pretty good. Nonverbals are big. They're big. So with that being said, a lot of people, that's something to be proud of because a lot of people even struggle with that. They really do struggle with that. So right here we have some beautiful sensory detail in the form of taste. Same. Let's get this. I don't like rewinding, but so what we have here is I bit down on my lip and the coppery taste of flood. I'm gonna hold the author to that standard because that is a beautiful way to describe sensory detail in the form of taste. So with that being said, so we know author can describe action well, and we know author can describe sensory detail well, especially in the form of taste. So know your weaknesses, know your strengths. So double check. I dare to glance. Maybe get some of that sensory detail in the form of sight, and that comes out through descriptive imagery. So also what we have here is internalized dialogue. Stupid, why you're so stupid. What you can do is stylize. I'm not seeing any stylizing, so we see a dinkus right there. I'll go ahead and italicize. That should use to show internal dialogue. A lot of people use it for it's just stylizing, but right there for those internal dialogues, you could definitely use italics. Using them for stylizing is totally cool, but definitely for internal dialogue. So double check. Go, you slow computer. Oh my goodness. Okay, so don't laugh at kids dance around my head. What is the page count here? I can't see the page count. Anyways, we'll go by time today. I'm gonna try to keep it under 30 minutes. Yesterday I said that, and then we went to 40 minutes. I was like, and then there was no sound. Oh man, please have sound. Okay. Anyways, I saw the bathroom flush, and I flung him inside. Back my classmates laughing, stupid. Why you so stupid? We're looking at me. It's skipping around a bit. Move, Strider, move. Elevate your. Now we're back over here. Okay, sorry. Move, you slow computer. Jeez. Should I tell the teacher? We're going all the way back up here. What is going on? Rancid water. That's great. I like that. Rancid water. So we know the author has an elevated vocabulary, that level 2 vocabulary. Definitely hold them to that standard. So the bathroom. This is literally just this is going to be a manner of author fatigue. In the redrafts, that's exactly what this is going to be. So what we have here is we have the harder of the two approaches to rewriting. We have the harder of the two here. Well, so what we don't have is an influx, and what we don't have is the necessity to pull back so much. What we have is the necessity to elevate. and that's a lot harder than having a lot of elevated material and then having to pull back, which is actually what I see the most, I believe. That's definitely in one of those almost next to be publishing. This is not, in my opinion, ready to be published. I would give it 2 more redrafts. One to elevate immensely, then the second one to pull back, and then that third one, maybe a third one to really go ahead and just solidify everything. Maybe that's where you could send it to somebody like me, for example, and like a ghostwriter or a ghostwriter elevator editor. I personally would do everything. I could do everything here. So I would love to receive a manuscript like this, kind of. The dissonance is a little off-putting, like the poop stuff. I don't know. I just personally, I don't find that aesthetically pleasing. But here what we have is, if you look on the screen, let me see, double check. A little more up. Peach skin, blemish free. Good way to describe character appearance. My clothes couldn't be saved. What kind of clothes is he wearing? Elevate, elevate, elevate. This is going to require a lot of elevation. And what we see here is what is acting as a dinkus. Dinkuses are used to show the specific, keyword specific passage of time right here. So it's not being utilized. And the purpose is it's close to being served. Get a specific passage of time. 20 minutes later, 10 minutes later, an hour later. Grocery bag, held in my normal clothes, Luke nice shorts. This better not have been you. I mumbled. And what if it did screech? A voice screeched in my ear. What the hell is that? I almost clocked you. I complained. Oh my goodness. I got a feeling with some elevation, I would really like these characters. I love goofy novels. I really love like goofy, fun stuff. But I got to look at the literary fundamentals. I really do. I can't always just be the funniness. Unless maybe this is a book with like graphics or something, like consistent graphics. Maybe that could, but that's really difficult. I would also maybe not do that. Strider, elevate your character profiles. What we have here is the cutoff of don't. That can go. It doesn't need to be there. I watched the narrative to dialogue balance. Watch that. Describing action. Again, he's punching him. That's pretty fun. So what is going on? He whined. So yeah, sometimes it's better to keep your dialogue tags shorter, and sometimes it's better to elevate. So we double check. So in the midst of action, you wouldn't always want those elevated dialogue tags. But what we have here is the onion chops, the ping pong dialogue, the back and forth. We want tennis dialogue. We want nice and articulate grace. You know, want to go not that rapid back and forth. We want some beautiful imagery. Use your dialogue with purpose. Watch the harmonic writing video on the channel where I talk about all of this. Every single thing should be having a purpose, and it should be serving off each other. Dialogue especially. Dialogue should be used to elevate in various manners. She's old too, a free man. So, for example, setting could play off world building. World building plays off character development. Character development plays off plot type and plot movement. So definitely move the plot with your dialogue. So words like "shut up" does not need to be there. "Watch it, dude" can go. What we have is a sandwich narrative. Get into the habit of those beautiful 5-sentence narratives. Get into the habit of symmetry. What? What? Question mark. Like, what we have here is something that'd be indicative of the rising action. That's exactly what this is. So I'm looking for the inciting incident. I'm looking for introductory elements. There's a lot of introductory elements missing. Ladies and gentlemen, know your landmarks. Introduction. For introducing, okay? You do it in an elevated way. Inciting incident is meant to kick off the plot at large. What we have here is this increasing of tension, increasing, alleviating. That is definitely indicative of rising action as opposed to introductory elements. A lot of people will either start off strong with action and just go kind of crazy and then kind of simmer down a little bit. Right here, it's a little bit, I don't know. It's hard to follow. But I'm liking the funniness. It's like, I feel like this could do well just with some elevation. Like maybe a really good funny YA. What I'm liking is that there's not an influx of swearing, which is really awesome. I love that because a lot of times people will use swears and they end up just bogging things down. What I'm liking here is like I feel like there's a lot of inclination. Like if this was put into maybe, let's say, the other author's hands, I feel like there would be swear words a lot. I'm glad that the author is pulling back on that. But double check your element. These onion chops got to go. That chop, 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 chop. That's got to go. Yes, this needs a lot of work. Double check and embrace it. Embrace the work. That's how you chisel yourself as an author. You hit the gym. You hit the author gym. So with that being said, get in the author gym. Rewrite. Maybe write down these critiques. A lot of times people find them very helpful. Uh, and yeah, go ahead. You have the video. It's gonna be on YouTube. By the way, in case any of the other authors that have done beta reads, I'm gonna be kind of doing a purge of previous ones, maybe from like 4 months ago. Pretty soon, I'll do an update video on that. But these more, I'm gonna start like I'm basically gonna start like giving them like 3 months in between. Whoa, Japanese demon. So we're going into foreign concepts now. What is going on? Plus one mask and down by the other mask is red and built like a Japanese mask. Whoa. I grabbed the red mask. Whoa, what is going on? What was going on? Zach mocked his put it back. What is going on? I completely went over my head. This is where beautiful narratives will help. We don't want to tell, not show, but we want to infer through narratives. Oh, and there you go. First chapter done. So I only asked for the first chapter. So yes, so just kind of recapping. I would send this back literally at first glance. Literally at first glance, I would send it back. And that's a good thing for author because it just says that now I get to improve as an author. Now I got the opportunity to keep on moving. Don't let author fatigue get to you. Do not do it. Take it slow. I've found a lot of times people tend to rush, and that creates more work in the long run. And then you don't want to put off something that's... And we've all been there. So with that being said, take that extra time, really work hard. Watch the author fatigue. It happens to everybody, but it's so worth it because in the end, it can end up being actually more work if you elevate as you go. Just get into really good habits. Maybe start writing flash fictions. I also recommend that. Separate stories with a focus on setting, for example, elevated setting. So you would write the flash fiction with that focus on elevated setting. You would write it in character development, all these things. So let's dip into chapter 2 really quickly. It's not 30 minutes. Let's have fun with this. So here we come with the onslaught of onion chops. Opt to at least open up with a beautiful narrative, like a nice 5-cent narrative. There's a lot of filler and glue words here. I'm seeing a lot of glue. And this is one of those novels. It's so funny. Even all different types of novels. I'll receive the novel. I'll receive the manuscript. I'll run it through the program, and then sometimes literally the manuscript is more glue words than actual important things. So I got a feeling if I ran this manuscript, it would be like that too. You don't watch out for glue to take out what's unnecessary. Like even things like dude that can go. Like damn, that could go. Just you would actually be pretty surprised though about things that you may deem necessary but are completely unnecessary. Watch out and vie for important information. So right here, none of this dialogue very little of this dialogue is moving the plot. So it's miscellaneous and it's just bogging things down. It's dead weight. So get some elevation in the mix. Get some purpose. Excuse me. Bro, your lifesaver. They have individual voices. I do like that. Be careful that they don't blend, which is very easy in a novel like this. But I can differentiate their voices a little bit here, especially in here. That's very good. Also, elevate for interesting, maybe variance in your dialogue presentation. Maybe read some Game of Thrones. Go ahead. See how George R.R. does his. This is not that exact genre, but I was reading Game of Thrones the other day, and I was like, okay, that's pretty good. Puerto Rican guy, that would be me. Don't you? Sorry, I got my alarm. I'm gonna take that as a sign to hurry up. So 1 second. Yeah, because basically the critiques I would normally give is that here's something fun we could do. I'm gonna leave my alarm on because I gotta clock out. But let me reverse because I do only ask for that first page. I can already tell this is bull. What I want to do here is for the first time I want to take a look at the other beta readers. I don't do that. Like if I receive a manuscript and there's a few betas on it, or a few alpha betas, I don't like taking their things into consideration all the time. I like having the author being able to do that by themselves. But what we have here, it seems like okay, cool. Let me try to scroll here, ladies and gentlemen. Please don't freeze. Please don't freeze. Oh my goodness! And the sound cuts off. No. Oh my. Oh wait. Okay. Cool. All right. Go. All right, okay, so OBS is running, so that's why it goes slow. You can't even see it on the screen. Man, let me try to move this way. No, they made it over us. All right. Man, how can I do this? Maybe you do one of these. Scooch? There you go. You can't even see it on the screen. Anyways. Well, let's kind of go through it. I find it hard to believe that the teacher... Hey, get out of the way. Oh, my goodness. I'm gonna take some time with this. I'm gonna take 10 minutes with this. I think it's worth it just because it's fun and new. Let's try to maybe. Let's try to. No, I'll just read it to you guys. That's what authors do. We tell stories. So what we got? I'm not gonna name last names, of course, because who knows. But anyway, so person A says, I find it hard to believe that the teacher would stand by as bullies are grabbing Richard and pulling him. Richard is not even presented. That's the thing too. I would get that name in there. I would get that name in there ASAP. I would elevate it and get in. Because look at double check. Maybe look at it this way. Read this paragraph and ask yourself: is this the aesthetic of the novel? Is this what the novel is going to be about? So double check. We got arrow. Somebody here. Sorry. Just saying true, that doesn't seem too helpful. Well, maybe. I don't know. And then there's a lot of beta readers in here. Wow, I'm very excited. I could definitely do all this by myself easily. So if you want a beta reader, I'm on Fiverr. Help yourself. Although I do these for free and for fun. I'm not here to upsell. So I definitely want to make sure that's out of the way. Not all teachers would stop it. Oh, it looks like there's a conversation happening here. That's pretty fun. But you need to elevate who she is. He's carrying away. He's got a point, but I wouldn't do that in the first paragraph. I would not do that in the first paragraph. Actually, I would maybe on the first page if it's going to be a big, important character. Like I said, this has a lot of indications of what would be rising action. So with that being said, I would take this gentleman or gentlewoman. The not all teacher would stop the situation. I would double check. I would not put the teacher in the first paragraph in the first place. Could use more context. A lot of things could use more context. I thought somebody's telling the main character it's hard to tell who's talking. Very true. I agree. Very true. It's hard to tell who's talking. What is the teacher doing? A lot of people are talking about the teacher. What's up with the teacher? I don't know. To me, I'm disregarding it. There's too many characters anyways. So, I don't know. Elevate your main. Spend a lot of time with your main. I want a beautiful love at first sight. We all do. We want love at first sight. And now it seems like the beta reader here is commenting on syntax and punctuation and grammar. That's a waste of time to write these comments. Like, delete space. Why don't you just do it for him? You know what I mean? Or, well, maybe the author doesn't want that. But if I received the beta read and I saw all this stuff, I would say, hey, do you want me to run this through Pro Writing Aid or something like that for you? I usually do extra stuff like that for fun. So I've gotten that too, where I get a manuscript and it says, delete the space. I'm like, why don't you just do it? And it looks like they're gone. The beta readers are gone. Where have they gone? Oh my goodness! I've got 3 minutes left until 30 minutes. I'm gonna spend the whole 30 minutes because I'm just having fun here. I like this. This is the thing. I want this one to work. I really do want this one to work. So take all this. Definitely, I would write it down. I actually would write the video down. Because kind of check marks, or take mental notes of it. Obviously, not everybody agrees with everything. Just take what makes sense. That often helps. People take what because of the experience I have. People take it pretty seriously, but at the same time, I have a really excitable approach. So with that being said, this is a book that I would actually have what's the word here? I would have fun reading. Like, I would read this and I'll be, oh, this is pretty fun. It's just missing the fundamentals, literary fundamentals. That's all this is. Just watch for that left brain. That's the creativity is there. So a lot of times people will receive critiques and. Definitely don't get down on yourself because that's not what should happen. All it is this is just pointing out that left brain stuff. So I hardly take the right brain into consideration sometimes. Sometimes I receive a beta read and I'm just looking for fundamentals only. So this is definitely one of those manuscripts where a little, I don't want to say goofy, but it's kind of out there. So in that regard, I would comment on the right brain stuff. But that's author creativity, so you can't really double check on that. Double check. That's my 2 cents. But definitely watch the left brain stuff, the fundamentals, strata. Like character profiles, character appearance. A lot of elevation is needed. Watch the presentation. First page. Redo the whole first page. With that being said, we're at 1 more minute. What can we do? Where'd all the beta readers go? Oh my goodness, I was gonna have so much fun with that. They only did the first page. What the? I think I have the whole manuscript here. I think. Here we go, Jackie. They're not going ham though. I go ham on these because I do the same thing where I have to write comments on the side. Let's see, double check. No, it's all frozen. All right. 30 seconds left. I feel like the author ring is gonna go. I don't know. If you want me to, maybe consider, if you want to maybe even think about publishing with Grandstaff Publishing, which is what we're trying to do. Maybe that could help, because what happens is we do all of that for you, the cover, the editing, all that. But I'm not here to upsell, so go with your original plan if that's fine. Definitely more than that. But yeah, let's do a recap really quickly. Double check your presentation. Watch the onion chop. Chop, 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 chop. Go for an symmetrical presentation. The brain loves symmetry. With that being said, I'm lagging. lag. What are you going to do? Get those character profiles in there when you're writing first person perspective. Definitely double check that you can get a differentiation between narrative voice and dialogue speaking voice. Elevate your main character. We want love at first sight. If you can nail all these elements, what I loved about this, from a left brain perspective, what I loved about this is the author has an author's strength of being able to nail action. Once you start incorporating like imagery, metaphor into all that sensory detail, then that could really execute quite well. So I see a lot of action in here. Nonverbals are present, which often go hand in hand with action. I like that. What else do I love? I love some of the examples of sensory detail, especially in the form of taste. Pro Writing Aid would literally tell you how much sensory detail you have. And wow, so the copper taste in the mouth, that was a really good description. So hold yourself to those standards. If you know you could do something, take time, take it slow. And with that being said, have a great day. Good job, ladies and gentlemen. Get those 500, get those 1,000 words in today. Like, subscribe, and get moving. Oh my goodness. Good job. Where's the button? Hopefully there's sound. I really hope there's sound here.